Hey guys, ILene Vick here for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. It is Tuesday, October 5th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I am live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad to see everybody tonight. There we go. I can see comments. Hi, Maddie. Big day today. Yes, ma'am. So welcome to my Facebook peeps. Good to see ya. Come on down and chat. We love it when you do that. And welcome to my Facebook lurkers. Like I always say, that's fine if you don't feel like chatting. Although we would enjoy your company. But just as long as you learn something, that's good. All right. Hi, Melba. Jojo's here. Woo! Jean's here. Whoa! Hail, hail, the gang's all here. And welcome, welcome, welcome to my YouTube viewers. Glad to see everybody. Okay. So, I will be unveiling the big surprise in a few minutes. Hello, hello, Wanda. Meanwhile, did anybody have any questions? No grandson today. Woohoo! Pearly. Oh, Stacy says, I'm here. I'm just driving in the hills of Tennessee coming into Chattanooga. All right. Well, good. We can keep you company. Hello, Sandy. We got everybody coming in. Okay. So, before I go into the new stuff, just talking a little bit about the current projects that I'm working on for you. Of course, this is the this is Cutie Witches. Cute Witches. I'm thinking of my cutie book, which, by the way, I put that on the affiliate list for you. So Stacy says, I can't watch the screen, so if anybody asks me questions and I don't answer, I'm so sorry. I just can't watch the screen. I'm seriously in the hills and Curves Mountain. Oh my gosh. Stacy, quit commenting. And if I ask you if you're still with us, just tap one letter and send it. That's it. Don't chat. Okay. So we've been working on this. Almost done. I'm fine-tuning the cats. I'll do a little bit more on the bottom with the tiles. And I hope that you've been enjoying this project. So, few tweaks to do that. And I think that this is going to turn out beautifully. And you can see here too that I was working on the black cat to finish up the coloring. These last 4 are not done yet. So if anybody has any questions on this, let me know. All right. And then this is the Mythographic Dream Garden that I've been working on. I hope you guys have been enjoying it. I've been doing it in subdued colors. I finished up the sky. You can see the blues and the purples. And I also did the dome so that it was showing through on the sky. Zoom in. Zoom in. So you can see now how that's showing through. And I'll be tweaking that as well. Showed you how to do the roses to get the depth. I colored the goldfish a darker, ruddy, brownish color. So I think this one's turning out well as well. Zoom out. Zoom out. Hello, Rhonda. All right, now we got everybody here. Rhonda, welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, and Jenny, good to see you as well. Although I know that you're watching this, of course, on video. Jenny, work on changing your hours. Change your hours, your day, an hour a day. Stay in bed 1 more hour, stay up late 1 more hour. Then we can enjoy your company. Then she says, yeah, right. Oh my. Okay. So the biggie news that I want to tell you is this. Drum roll. Ta-da! I want to show you this beautiful rose picture. Absolutely gorgeous. And I'm going to show you the finished version of it. Trust me, I'm getting there as to what the announcement is. Zoom out. We'll get you out a little bit more so you can see. And I would like to announce that we now have a resident author in our group. And her name is, drum roll, Wanda Fontenot. And she is publishing her very first coloring book. Yay! And this is what I have been super excited to show you. This is from her book. So I wanted to tell you that. We're very proud of our Wanda. She will be launching the book in Amazon. She'll need to let us know when it's going to be available. And it's going to be available on at some point on Etsy. And there will be a PDF format available. So I'm so proud of her. She's come along beautifully in this group. Under my tutelage, she got the grayscale under control and has done it beautifully. And I want to thank you for all your support of Wanda. You know that she's been through some things that are going on in her life, as it is going on in everybody else's life. And I'm very, very proud of her. So I'm going to turn this over to Wanda. Wanda, are you going to appear live tonight with me? Yeah, she soared with grayscale. So what I'm going to do while she's chatting is I'm going to color this piece for you. I've seen the book. It's beautiful. And right now she is working on having both the grayscale and the color it. Maddie says I will buy it definitely. So yeah, she really soared with grayscale. So Wanda, go ahead and let's chat it up. Now, the other news is that she's going to be creating a contest of an image. We've chosen an image. She will be putting that in the file folders. Jean says she'll buy it. There you go, Wanda. 2 sales already. So she'll let us all know when it's on Amazon. JoJo's gonna get it. There's 3. So we've chosen an image. Now, it's not this image, but I want to show you this one. I love this one as well. Oh, Stacy's going to buy it. And Rhonda. Oh my gosh, there's 5 sales for you already, Wanda. So this is another image out of the book. Now, it's not all flowers. It's butterflies. There's a lot of butterflies. Wanda is going to post the cover just so you can see the cover in the group. So you'll be able to see that. But she'll note in the post that the book it will be coming soon to Amazon. No, I did not color this. This is the color. This is the color. This is the color photograph. This is the grayscale. And yes, the book is called Buds and Butterflies, and there are some drop-dead gorgeous butterfly pictures in there too. Now, what I like about the book is the books are very sharp. Oh, there we go. Stacy says, oh, definitely buying it now since I said butterflies. So the images are very, very sharp. That's what I like about this coloring. The grayscale is defined beautifully on here. And I think you're going to like it. This is one of those books that I would recommend. So Wanda, I'm going to... Oh, Maddie says I'll get it for this image alone. Oh, Wanda's coming online. Yay. Hold on, let's see if we can get her going here. So we're trying to get her added. You've got to have your iPhone in landscape view. Oh, there we go.
Oh no, that's wrong.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, there we go.
Oh no, that's wrong.
Okay.
Got a bit of a delay too. Hi.
You're sideways right now.
Oh no, that's wrong. I'm giving up. Okay, got a bit of a delay too. Hi.
You're sideways right okay. Now.
Oh no.
Now you've got to turn your volume down. Turn your volume down because I'm echoing in your background. Now you've got to turn your volume down. Turn your volume down because I'm...
Is that better?
Yes, it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay. Okay, great.
All right.
By the way, ILene, let me tell you first, my name is actually pronounced Fontenot. It's French Cajun, and the T is silent.
Okay. Fontenot. Gotcha.
Yes. Wow. What I'm seeing on my monitor is way different from what I'm seeing and hearing on my phone. Okay.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to get quiet for a few moments and go ahead and let's talk about why you did the book and talk about why you picked the subjects. And Wanda also says that there's some more books coming. So she's got more books coming. So go ahead, Wanda. I'm turning it over to you.
Okay. Okay. Hi, everyone. So happy to, well, I can't see you, can I? But you can see me. But anyway, over the last few months, I've been working all of my spare time on getting this book together. It is Buds and Butterflies is the name of it. It is a book with 30 grayscale images that are, some are just flowers and some are butterflies on flowers. I love every picture that's in the book. We are going to do a contest. I'm going to put one of the pictures up. I will also put some information in the group with my book cover, and you know, we'll kind of go from there. I will tell you that the winner of the contest will receive a full PDF of the book. So I hope everybody can be excited about that. It's a beautiful book, I think. I hope everyone else agrees. Okay. But anyway, I do have several other books that I'm working on now in, you know, other subject matter. So we'll see. I'm really excited about this. I'm trying to get everything done to where I can get it on Amazon. And, you know, I've set up an Etsy shop, but I don't have everything really prepared there yet. And I'm sorry, guys, I'm not looking at you because I'm looking at my monitor and not my phone. My phone is sitting below. If anybody has any questions, just ask. I know I'm fumbling around with this. This is not something I'm accustomed to, coming on the screen and talking to you guys. I'd rather be chatting with the typing. But go ahead if anybody wants to ask me anything that maybe, I know I haven't covered a lot of things that I intended to. So.
Well, go ahead and just relax and talk about anything else that you want to talk about. What made you decide to do it?
What made me decide to do it is, you know, I love coloring, and I was intimidated by grayscale, but I was always longing for a realism that I wasn't finding in the projects that I was working on. My first 2.5 years of coloring, I did nothing but use gel pens. And, you know, I loved it, but I always longed for something more challenging, something more realistic. And you know, grayscale provided me with the opportunity to try my hand, you know, at more realism. Now, ILene knows that I was intimidated by grayscale, but she encouraged me. She did a little grayscale coloring, you know, on the broadcast, and she encouraged me and told me, you can do this, Wanda. And I did it, and, you know, I've just moved forward, and I've actually been very happy with the subject matter, the pictures that I've colored, and I think that I just keep improving with each picture. ILene, they're saying that everybody's saying that they're getting bumped. So I think I'm going to get off of here, and maybe that will fix this problem, and we'll go back to just typing on the screen. How about that?
Well, Wanda, though, let's do this because people can also watch it in video afterwards. But right now, I still want to continue and just talk a little bit more about this. So that's okay. We'll get offline. I mean, I'll stop the dual interview, not interview, but chat in a little bit, because when this goes to video, everybody else be able to still see the whole thing. What I want you to talk about is, though, is you were talking about getting some other books after this. So what other subject matters are you thinking about doing?
Actually, ILene, I can barely hear you. I can't understand what you're asking me on.
Okay, we'll go ahead and end this then, and we'll go ahead and just talk through the text. Okay? Did you hear me say that?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Wanda. Bye. Okay. So, can everybody hear now? Let me know if you're having any problems. Zoom in. All right, so what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to go ahead and start to color this rose. Now, Wanda, what we started to talk about is you've got some other books in mind. What kind of subject matters are you thinking about doing? All right. So what I'm doing now here for me is I'm going ahead and I'm doing the light and medium dark on one segment of Gina. Hi. I'm going ahead and doing my light, medium, and dark on one segment of this little puppy because I want you to be able to see how cool this rose is going to look. And what I did here is I started in my dark segment right here. And what I want you to notice here is even in this dark segment, I still have the gray that is coming out our different colors. So I'm going to go ahead and do my dark here. And then I'm going to pull in a little bit of medium. Okay, well, somebody typed for Gina that she needs to just completely pull out and come back in again. So Jean says, ILene had taught me grayscale pictures and I love doing those pages too. I'm very happy the way they come out better than the line art. Okay. And Wanda says, I'm also working on a book on animals and other birds. Okay. So yay, guys, that's our big news. We're so happy for Wanda. And look how beautiful this is coming out. Isn't that gorgeous? Now for grayscale here, flowers are very forgiving. And we've talked a lot about this. Zoom in. So I'm very excited for Wanda as well. Wanda, I have a question for you. I've got several people here that don't have printers. So if they win the contest, would you be willing to send them a hard copy of the book? So I'm getting all my dark edges done here. And now I'm going to go through. Now, when you are working with the subtleties of a rose here, this is where you need to pay attention to where your darks, they pop in here. And I want you to notice also that the pinks that I'm using are very light pinks. Now, I could have gone with more vivid colors on this if I wanted to, but I wanted this to look a certain way. Now, here's an area, we've got a mix of the dark, so I'm doing the dark, zoom in, zoom in. So I've got this dark area here, and I'm going to go back now. This is just me, and I'm going to go ahead and color in my medium area, or color in medium right next to my dark, because I want that extra shading. So the point being here is you don't have to go through, if you don't want to, and do all your darks all over your pieces. You can work in segments. So right now I'm just working in my segment right here. So I've got my light area up here on the edge of my rose. And I want you to notice this little spot that I left open on the top. Zoom in, zoom in. I want you to notice this little area here that I've left open here. And I'm going to go ahead and add a little touch of medium on there. Now, that's my own artistic addition on this. And then I'm going to pull that color down into the area that it is indicated for medium. Look how absolutely beautiful that is, guys. Now, notice that the dark, medium, and light in this segment right here are changed in values. Now that's fine. We still have DLM, but the values are just different. So there's my dark. And then I'll go ahead and hit my light area. Not too much, there wasn't too much light on here. And then I'll go ahead and do my mediums. There you go. Zoom out. And look how absolutely gorgeous that is. Zoom out. Yeah, I'm having issues with my iPad, just to let you know, Rhonda. Facebook is at it again. So if you're on iPad, you may want to change to your phone. Now, if you want to give it an extra little kick, and we've talked a lot about this too, is you can go ahead and take your Faber-Castell 103 and blend that in beautifully. And look how gorgeous that piece is. Anybody else having problems with sound? Okay, so let's go into this area right here. This is my darker area. Okay, hold on. Okay, guys, I'll be back. Bye. Okay, guys, I'm back. I'm back. We'll see if that makes a difference. Alrighty. So, as I was saying, zoom in. Okay, Wanda, good. And then I'm going to go ahead and blend in now with my medium. Rhonda, can you hear me okay? Now, notice how I'm pulling over this medium a little bit on my light. And this is key. Remember, blending, guys, blending. All right. So this is my dark area now. Remember, every little area is going to have different shades of your DLM, your dark, medium, and your light. And also remember how I tell you to go ahead and be artistic with your areas as you're coloring. So here's my light area. Sandy, are you hearing me okay? And then on that one area now, I'm going to go ahead and color in my medium. And notice how I'm working with the different shades. Now, I'm going to go back here. I'm just going to go ahead and pump up that dark just a little bit. Remember, there isn't anything that says you can't go back to your areas, right? And look how beautifully now this piece is blending in. This piece is going to be an absolute stunner. Oh, Jojo, glad you're back. Okay, let me zip in here. Melba says she can't get back in. Wanda, I don't know what to say other than for her just to completely go out of Facebook, maybe even reboot her device. So here are my dark areas. Now, I'm going to go a little bit off script, and I want to show you that this is not fatal to do at all, but I'm going to work my medium in. So I don't want you to have the DLM as cast in absolute stone. And Wanda has posted the book cover with some information. A little bit of dark here. And then I've got my light area left. We are all very excited for Wanda. Now, notice that I'm taking my light pencil and I'm going ahead and smoothing out my medium here. And this is where Wanda will tell you that layers, guys, this is what's going to make the difference. Well, Wanda, it looks like when you get your book on Amazon that you're already going to have 10 sales, so there you go. Hey, Wanda, I don't know if you saw my earlier question, but for those people that don't have a printer, if they win the contest, would you be willing to send them the hard copy? Okay. Now, notice the subtleties of the rose here. And that's what I'm saying is if you want to take your dark, medium, and light a little bit differently, you can do that. It's your piece. Wanda says, yes, ILene, but it'll take longer to make that happen. That's fine. I just want to make sure that everybody can be included in the contest, because I know a couple people that don't have printers. Okay, so I want to show you some subtle coloring here. Zoom in. Zoom in. I want you to notice here that on this particular petal, we've got a very, very thin line of this darkest color. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that. Now, if you end up pulling it out a little bit more, either your pencil got wobbly. Oh, Wanda says my printer's been acting up, so I've been sending images to print shop to get printed. Okay, notice how I've got that dark area here now? And then I'm going to go ahead and enhance it here. Then I'm going to go with my light. And look how beautifully this comes out. Take your time, layer it. Now, this is why I particularly like this book, because Wanda has taken the time to sharpen up the images. Some grayscale is very sloppy. And it's not very sharp, but these are sharp. So here's my light area. And then I'm going to go back now with my medium, and I'll pull out in a second so you can see how this is all looking. And guys, I'm not digging my pencil into the paper at all. Now, I want you to notice something on my medium. I went ahead here and I did some extra strokes on it to darken it up. See that ridge right there? That's just my add-on and interpretation of this piece. And I also want you to notice that, see how I'm carrying over this darker, well, still my medium pencil, but see how I'm carrying over that medium color on this rose. And then I'm going to go back and I'm just going to play with my black a little more. Hi, Kathy. Not my black, my dark. Yee. And we'll get that ridge just a little darker. Zoom out. Zoom out. Look at that. Oop, sorry, don't mean to keep going in and out. Isn't that beautiful? Now, here is the original. This is the picture that Wanda supplied. My colors are a little bit different. But you can see how beautiful the colors are coming. Everybody see that? And I'll play around with the green in a little bit so you can really see the vividness. Okay. So Wanda, here's my story about my printer when I was having problems. My light was flashing on it, and there's a light when it tells me that the ink cartridges are low. Thank you, Jojo. And the light that's on the printer, there's only one light, and then it shows the little segment or the indicator for the color cartridge and the black cartridge. So the light that was flashing was right next to the indicator for what I thought the color cartridge was low. Turns out that that light is there to indicate that it's one or the other. And I had to use the app to find out which one it was, and it turns out it was the black one and not my color cartridge. And Hewlett-Packard had sent me the black cartridge, so as soon as I installed that, it zipped right in there and worked beautifully. So here I thought it was my color cartridge. I had just received a black cartridge from Hewlett-Packard, and I thought, why did you send me a black cartridge when I needed color? Well, turned out I needed the black. Okay, so here I'm going with the light. So I'd already done my dark areas. Now remember, your DLM, your dark medium light, is all relative to where you are on the picture. So your dark in one area may be darker than your dark in another area. Just be aware of that. Somebody please tell me that that makes sense. And now, so I've done my light there, and now I'm going to come in with my medium. And if I've confused anybody, let me know, and I'll talk about it again. Now, again, notice that I'm pulling out a little extra color on the ridge here. That's my artistic choice. Don't go brain dead, guys, when you're coloring, okay? So here's my dark on here. Whoop. Here's my light areas. I never told you guys what pencils I'm using. I'm so sorry. And then here's my medium. Okay. So now I'm going to move to my segment right in here. This is my Zenacolor Pearl Pink. Color CP086. Zoom in. Now, here's a really good example here. This little teeny tiny area right here is very, very dark. So I'm going to go ahead and color that with my dark. But also notice now that I have dark, medium, and light in this segment as well. So I'm going to go ahead and continue with my dark even though it's a little lighter area. And that's what I meant, that each area has its own DLM. to color. So there's my dark. Here's my light. And hopefully you can still see, there's my medium right in there. And now I'm coming in with my medium. Now, see this little curvature in here? I'm going to emphasize that. And I'm going to darken it a little bit because I think it looks really cool. Let me brush that. Faber-Castell 103. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh. Okay, let me name my pencils right now because I still haven't. I am a dork. So my light pencil is my Brett Funner 098. This is not out of my 520 set. Not out of it. My medium is my Prismacolor PC 929, appropriately named Rose. And my dark is my Zenicolor Pearl Pink, a lovable dork. The CP086. Okay. So let's do our next little segment. Here's our dark. And here's a really good example here. Dark, right? And then our light. Blend, 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 blend. Right? And then we'll go with our medium. Now, again, with my medium, I'm going to go ahead and pull that color down a little bit. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Look at that. And here's a little bit of medium right here. And then we'll go ahead and blend that. Faber-Castell 103. All right, let me do one more little segment here and then I'll pull out. I really want you guys to see this. So there's my dark. And my light. And then I'm going to emphasize my medium. Now, the neat thing is, guys, when you're doing grayscale like this, as you're coloring, you will see the nuances and the colors emerge. And you will be able to tell when to stop. But this is why roses are so neat to do, because they're very forgiving. So let's pull you out. So here's my dark. And we'll get that light area. And then we'll get that medium. Rhonda, you still hanging in with us? I'm just doing a room check to make sure people aren't getting kicked out. She says always. Okay. And again, I want to remind you, you can do artistic tweaking. Make it your own. Oh my gosh, this is ridiculously pretty. All right. Let me try and get my voice control back. Anybody have any questions or comments here? And you see how beautifully now this is all coming together. All right, let me do one more segment here, and then I'm going to pop over to the leaves because I want you to see the leaves. All right. So the lessons learned here, guys, is that the subtleties of the shading is really showing through. And that's why when you're coloring line art, I don't want you to get a good enough attitude, because good enough isn't. All right, so there's the full picture. Rhonda has just posted the contest. This is so drop dead gorgeous, guys. Okay. Now, on this segment right here, this large segment, in looking at the different shades here, I'm just basically seeing a medium and a light. So I'm going to go ahead and color in my medium. And there is a very, very subtle shade difference. Now, the thing is, oh yeah, that fabric background is gorgeous. I'm going to do a little bit of the plant, and then I'll go ahead and do a little bit of the fabric. So here's my medium now. And, oh, anyway, so what I was saying, let me get back to what Wanda did with her pictures. Now, personally for me, I like these close-up pictures like this where you can see things like the fabric. Those to me are absolutely gorgeous to do. But as I said earlier, so that's my medium, and now I'm going to go to my light. She sharpened the images, and that for me is the sign of a quality quality book. Now, I want you to notice that I'm going over my medium areas with my light pencil, and that'll get rid of any errant popcorn effect. And I just got a little scratching effect from my pencil. You know how sometimes when you're coloring and another color comes out? Ooh, yowza. That's okay. We deal with it. Surprise. My Brett funners do that once in a while. Wanda, have you had that happen with your Brett funners? That you'll be going along and all of a sudden, it doesn't happen very often. It really doesn't. Just every once in a while. Was it a Brett funner, Wanda? Okay. Now, I want to point something out here with that happening with the pencil. It came out a little bit orangey on my rose. And if you wanted to go through and add some orange, just light orange spots, you could. I want you guys to remember that you don't have to stick to exactly the picture. Make it your own. Just like you make line art your own. All right, so let me show you the actual picture again. There we go, see it? So far this is the side by side. Not too shabby. Now the colors that I chose are a little more pinkish. That's fine. My interpretation. And the other thing that I would say to you is, on this second rose here, if you don't want to do it the pink, you don't have to. And in fact, it looks like this one does have orange in it. If you look at that picture. Take a peek at that. You see it? All right. So let me go ahead and play around with the green leaves a little bit. We'll just get some contrasting colors here. Oh, I'm having too much fun with this. So let me set aside my 3 pencils. And we'll go ahead and get some of that greenery done. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Anybody have any questions or comments so far about what's going on? Okay. Rhonda, you getting booted again? Da-da-dum. I'll tell you, I am so disgusted with Facebook. At least we got everybody in here at the beginning and got the announcement out without any problem. All right, I'm just getting my dark settled here. Yeah, I mean, we had a bunch of people pile in at the beginning, so they got the information, and that was the important part. Okay. Sharpen my pencils. Okay, I've got my light, medium, and dark of my greens. Zoom in. Zoom in. So I'll start with my dark. And this is my Brett Funner 520 set Black Forest. It's a very pretty green, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and start in the crevices here of my leaf. And you guys learned the other day when I was doing the flowers with that soft background that you can color on black. Now this one, when you first look at it, doesn't quite look at it, but it looks like it is a leaf because it's got a light area in the corner. So I'm going to go ahead and color it as such. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my light color just in that little bit here, just to give it some personality. And I'm going to pull up that light color a little bit. Now the shaded picture didn't call for it, so this is my artistic choice to do that. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to concentrate on this leaf right here. And I want you to see, this is where your detail comes in, guys. As you can see on the very tips of that leaf is we've got some black or dark. So you want to go ahead and honor that as well. And right along this edge, we've got some dark. Now, the neat thing about grayscale is once you start doing it on a regular basis, it makes your eyes very sensitive to the different shadings of color. And now I'm going to come through with my medium. I'll call out my pencils in a moment. And we'll get the rest of this leaf done. Oh my gosh, how pretty. And the thing that I really also enjoy about grayscale is that as you color this, the piece, the image, it just unfolds in front of your eyes. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay. So my light green is my Master 143. Excuse me, 103. Now, we don't have very much dark on this segment. This is my Brett Funner 520 set, and the color is Black Forest. Mentioned that earlier. And my medium is my Brett Funner Avocado. Oh, how pretty. And again, once you get your colors in, this is where you can tweak it a little bit, just like you would line art. Okay, now I'm going to do the leaf immediately next to it right now because I want you to see this. Ba-da-dum. So here's my light. And guys, when you're coloring grayscale like this, I want you to treat it almost like you're painting a picture. And really, that's what you should be doing with your line art as well. So I wanted to hit my light points first because it was calling for me to do that. So if you get a little bit out of order on your stuff, that's okay too. So I'm going to do my dark. And again, it's not really out of order. It's just what works for you. And when you change the order, sometimes it will change how you interpret the piece that you're coloring. I do not want you to lockstep on grayscale. I want you to be just as creative with this as you are with others, with your line art. Okay. So now I'm going to come in with my medium. Let me slide down just a little bit. Now, notice how there's also a little dark on the edge. I missed that. So we'll go ahead and catch that. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my medium. And again, don't grind your pencils into the paper. Oops. Hold on. Got a little enthusiastic there. Now, I want you to notice too that I'm holding my pencil a little looser than I normally do, because I just want that color to come in naturally. Now, I noticed that I missed a little bit of the dark here at the bottom. So I'm just going to go ahead and recoup that. And then I'm going to use my, yes, Jean, I'll pull out in a minute. Oop. A little bit of shedding on here. And now I'm going to take my Faber-Castell 103 and very, very lightly blend all of that in, because I want that really soft, mergy look. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. There you go. Zoom in. Zoom in. You're welcome, Jean. And again, notice I'm just taking my ivory color, Faber-Castell 103, and blending all that in. And again, you know not to overblend because then you're going to get mushy. Isn't that pretty? Questions from anybody? Zoom out. And see, this is, guys, this is what Wanda does when she colors, is she blends and blends and blends and merges everything beautifully. I did. I bought a stock in that one color brand of pencil. I got a dozen of them. Faber-Castell's going to wonder why they've got a run on them. Okay. Guys, I'm going to do something a little different here on this. Let me adjust a couple things here. Oh, stock in the company? Yeah. Okay, we are, now I'm really in the mood to play. I hope you guys are in the mood to watch. And I need to do this to prove a point to you guys. Okay. All right, I'm going to go off script on the coloring of this second rose. It's supposed to be pink, but this is where I want you guys to start using your artistic chops. Zoom in. Zoom in. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to use my Brett Funner 052. This is my dark color. Now remember, I want you guys to look at this in segments. So right now, here's the dark color for that center part. Really, there's two ways to look at this, actually. I can pick an area and pick out my dark, medium, and light, or I can look at my whole thing and pick out my dark, medium, and light. Because I'm doing these roses, I am choosing to segment my dark, medium, and light. So that means when I get to a different area that I'm coloring, I've got different areas of shading. Now, I don't want you to get confused about me saying this. So see right here, I had a center section here that was very, very dark. And now that I'm doing this segment of my rose here, my dark area is lighter than the center dark, but it's darker than the shading around it. Rhonda, how do you do your pieces? Do you do an overall dark, medium, and light, or do you do a segment? Okay. So here's a little splotch right here. And what I'm saying here, guys, it's all relative. You start with mostly light all over and then go back and start shading in areas. Okay. So there's my dark. Wanda, how do you do yours? So now I'm going to hit my light area. So Rhonda, when you do your coloring now that you're doing grayscale, do you find that you're more sensitive to color change? Right, I know, Wanda, that you do light, dark, and medium. Right, I understand that. But what I'm saying is, do you segment your areas of light, medium, and dark, or do you do an overall light, medium, dark? In other words, right now I'm segmenting, because if I just did dark, that would just be my dark, my very dark center, and the rest of this would be light and medium. One petal at a time, finish it, and then move on. Okay. All right, so this is my custard color. It's my Brett Funner 520. That's my lightest pencil. My dark pencil is, like I said, my Brett Funner 052. And then my medium is my bright orange yellow, of all things, 49, and that's Shuttle Art. Okay, so let me do my medium now. So Wanda, when you're doing one petal at a time, you're treating each area separately as far as light, medium, and dark, right? In other words, light, medium, and dark on one petal may not be the same values as light, medium, dark on another. Okay, so I'm taking very, very small circles on here. I want that color to go into my paper without any problem. So Wanda says she chooses some variations of the light, dark, and medium for petals with slightly different coloring. Cool. That's what I was curious about. Zoom out. Zoom out. And now what I'm doing is I'm blending in my darker areas here with my medium pencil. And I'm being careful not to go over my light areas because I don't want to lose those. Now, because I have such a large area, So Wanda says the yellow flowers in the picture I posted, for instance, you will notice slight color differences in the top flower. That was intentional because all flowers of the same are not, or all flowers of the same are not the same. Exactly. Okay. And then I'm going to use my Faber-Castell 103. So, Rhonda, I think I asked you this earlier. I don't know if you answered or I may have missed it. Have you noticed now that since you're doing grayscale, that you're noticing nuances and color shades better? And then as Wanda says, and of course the amount of light hitting a subject makes the colors appear different. Exactly. And Rhonda says definitely she notices, even notice nature so much more. Zoom out. All right. So I went off script from the picture, and that's the point that I wanted to make with you guys. Is that if you have a picture to guide you and give you an idea, which is what Rhonda is supplying, is color images, you may want to consider doing something a little bit different. Okay, now what I'm doing is I'm going through. Yeah, you can do your own thing. Exactly. And Rhonda, you and I know that, but there are people when they're learning color, you know, and they see a picture guide, for example, they may think that they can't. Gotta grab some water, excuse me. So now what I'm doing with my darkest color is I'm going in and I'm shading some areas a little bit more. For example, right there, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. For example, right here, I'm going ahead and I'm shading a little bit more right underneath that petal. And internally, I'm also making my darker colors a little more noticeable. But again, I'm making darn sure that I blend everything. All right. Zoom out. Zoom out. So even though this picture calls for 2 pinks, I decided to do a yellowish orange next to mine. Now, I want to show you something else which will enrich in your colors. Zoom in. On my medium pink, I'm taking my medium orange and I'm just putting a hint of color, barely touching it. So I'm hiding the orange, the tint of orange inside of the pink. To give it that little extra oomph. Just make sure that you don't get streaky with it. Okay. Zoom out. And then once again, I'm taking my Faber-Castell 103 over that orange. And making sure that we've got a really nice blend with that. So all you're going to see is a rose with a kiss of orange. And actually, you may not even notice that that's orange. It's going to look like a variation of the pink. How pretty is that? Okay. Let me do a little bit on the rug here. Good night, Miss Jean. I am so glad that you're making it in here. Good night, Jean. Good night, Jean. Good night, Miss Jean. So glad you made it tonight. All right. I'm going to work on this carpet a little bit. Rug, carpet. So this is my Cool Bank Coconut Brown C117. For my dark, medium is Prismacolor Pumpkin Orange PC1032. And my light is my Faber-Castell Terracotta 186. And this carpet is really a rug, carpet, rug. We'll call it a rug. Wait until you see how this kicks up our colors. Zoom in. So I'm going to go ahead and work on my darks. And this one's going to be enjoyable to do because it's got a really nice mix of our shade values. Zoom in. And notice here, right under the leaf, we've got our dark part, right? Details, guys, details. And then I'm going to go with my light color, which is my terracotta. Now, I want you to notice something. I'm concentrating on the area with the busy pattern. This area here I'm treating as totally different. So be aware that you got to look carefully at your picture. Now, in this case, this is going to look spotty, of course, but trust me, it'll come out beautifully. So this is the wood where the paint has scraped off. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead now and hit this up with my medium. Yeah, this fabric, exactly. I see it. This fabric over here. Yep. And now I'm going to come in with my medium. I missed a little bit of the flower of my yellow. And then we've got a little leaf down here. And notice that as I'm putting in my medium color, is I'm going ahead and I am blending with my previous colors. And notice too that I've got a little bit of medium over here. So we'll go ahead and get that. And I'll pull out in a second so you can see how pretty this looks. Zoom out. Okay, now I want this to look softer. So this is where I'm going to use my Faber-Castell 103. And again, I'm not shoving my pencil into the paper at all. And how much better does that look? Wow. Okay, zoom out, zoom out. All right, now we've got pink fabric here that's on top of this. So I'm going to use 3 different pinks than my rose. All right, so let's play with this. Zoom in, zoom in. Okay. Now, this is an interesting portion because we've got a lot of going on with the speckle of the fabric. Zoom in. And if you will notice, there are very small areas of dark on this, and that's what makes this piece so interesting. So I'm using my Brett Funner 520 Chrysanthemum. Now, obviously, I can't hit every speck, right? That would be really ridiculous. Although, Wanda said that when she did what I call her slave girl, she was working on that gold and it drove her nuts. And then as we get further out on the rug, notice we don't have any really dark spots, okay? So now I'm going to go ahead and hit my light. And this is the Cool Bank 075 Carmine color. Now, I don't want you to go crazy guessing where stuff is. So sometimes you just need to go by the seat of your pants. And this design being so small and intricate, by the time I blend it with my medium pencil, it'll make sense. Everybody clear on that? Nothing exotic. So that was my light. And then my medium is going to be my Guanghai 001. And notice, because I went ahead and I put the dark on here, I took the time. And you know, guys, I'm sure I didn't find all the dark speckles. Of course not. But that's where your artist sense kicks in, where you get artistic with it. And work out your pattern. Okay. And then this area here, let me turn you a little bit and get you back in camera view. I'm calling this medium. Now, I want to point something out here. I can see slightly darker speckles in here. And when you run into a teeny tiny intricate pattern like this, this is where you're going to let your grayscale do the work. Exactly. I was just about to say that, Wanda. The shading will take care of that for you. You read my mind. You would drive yourself absolutely nuts if you tried to be that close with it. And I am barely touching the paper here. All right, so let me go here. Exactly, and I was going to do that as well. As Wanda said, you can drop some random spots of the dark and it'll look fine. That's right. All right, so now that I've got my areas colored here, is now I'm going to go back with my dark and go ahead and put in those little spots. Don't get so picky with this, guys, that you lose the enjoyment of doing it, okay? And not only am I going to do spots, but I'm just going to do a little bit of, you know, just circular shading on here. Play with it. Now, while I'm here, I've got the shading right underneath this rose. And we've got the shadow on the carpet, so we're going to claim that it's going to make that pinkish, darker pinkish. So I've got my dark, and now I'm going to come out with my medium. Zoom out. Let's take a look at this. Zoom out. So Rhonda says some of the images are soft and some are sharp. In this book, I tried to offer variety. Excellent. Excellent. So I'm just going ahead and catching these last carpet designs here. Look how beautiful that is. Okay, now, this carpet is a cream color, actually, in the photograph. So, haha, Faber-Castell 103. Whee! All right, our little pencil finally decided, gets to do a spot of its own. Now, zoom in. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to very lightly run that color over my carpet designs. Oh, how pretty is that? Makes it beautifully, beautifully soft. Zoom in. Look at the difference now between here and here. Here I ran over the ivory, I'm going to do it up on the shadow as well. And down here, I didn't, right? Yowza, isn't that pretty? How pretty is that? And again, guys, look at the difference between here and here, where this is nice and soft. Look at, on the same pattern, right? Soft, harsh before I blend it. Oh, Wanda, well, yeah, I do. I love this image. I'm so glad I got it printed. I'm having a ball doing this. And I will remind you that even though I am running this ivory over my picture where I colored, my color variances are still very much intact, right? My light, medium, dark. That's the neat thing about colored pencil. Oh, how pretty is this? All right, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. Wow, what do you think? Okay, so I've done a leaf, I've done the two flowers, one in the pink, one in the yellow. Zoom out. I love how that carpet's turning out. Zoom out. So now I want to show you the side by side. Let me pull my camera out a little bit more. Photograph my rendering. Now, as you can see, I chose to go with a slightly darker green on the leaves. Perfectly fine. Whatever floats your boat, guys. And that carpet now is really coming out because look at the, oh, wrong picture. Look at the difference now between the ivory and I haven't done this part yet, which I will do before we end tonight. Okay. Yeah, Wanda, I'm really enjoying doing this. So now I'm going to go ahead and, ooh, this is pretty. Color up the area where it's painted. Let me see which direction I want to go with this. Okay, now I'm going to throw you a little bit of a curve. But that's why you're watching. Is I'm going to, let's see, zoom in. Zoom in. I'm going to work on this area that's supposed to be painted. Zoom in. Now, we have a couple of streaks here, so I'm going to go ahead and get those in with my browns. So let me get those in because this is going to be important in a second. Right, and as Rhonda says, if you want a more vibrant color, just keep applying the color until you get what you want. Your layers. Exactly. Okay. So now I'm going to throw you a little bit of a curve. And this comes with not getting into robotic coloring. Zoom in. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to work on the painted part of the table. And this is a Prismacolor Periwinkle, 1025. Now it's going to be really important here on this particular one that you get in between those rug fibers or else it's not going to look cool. Zoom in. So we need to go ahead and define those a little bit. And I want you to notice that as I'm putting that blue in there, the carpet's coming out beautifully. All right, let me pull back this way. And I'm starting to color my painted area. Zoom out. Now, there are some instances. Oh, look at that. Sandy says, Wanda, I can't wait to buy the book. So there are some instances where you want to go ahead and just let the grayscale come through with your varying shades. And you saw that in the carpet, right? So I'm going to do that with the table as well in some instances, right? The brown, I did my 3 colors. Okay, so let me go back and now I want you to notice too is that the table is pretty much one tone, okay? We don't have too many shades here. Now we've got a few speckles, but they're going to naturally come out a little bit darker, so I'm not worried about that. But don't you dare do this too often, all right? Okay, so I'm going to stop there for now. Got to keep all my pencils separate here. Now, I'm going to come in with my Arteza Cloudy Gray, A047, and this is what I want you to watch. And this is where I'm throwing you a little bit of a curve. So I'm going to use my Cloudy Gray, and I'm going to go back over my blue. So there's 2 things going on here because I'm doing this. Number 1, I'm blending my colors, right? And I'm going to use little teeny tiny circles because I want that gray now to mix in with the blue. So this gray is now acting as my blender pencil. And I want you to see how beautiful now this color is turning out. By adding this gray on top. Oh, is that pretty? Now, if you wanted to use a lighter color, because I'm going off script again from the photograph. The photograph has a very light gray on here. But I don't want you guys coloring like little robots, that if you decide that you want to do your roses differently, like I did, that's why I did the yellow one, or do your tabletop a little bit differently, you can and should. Now, if you want to stay exactly with the picture, have at it. Nothing wrong with that. Now, notice that I'm going over my brown streaks because I want them smoothed out. How cool is that carpet? Isn't that fringe neat? Take the time. Okay. Now I'm going to come over here. So Rhonda, it looks like you've got about 10 people now that want to immediately buy this book. I want you to notice too, as long as I stay in camera range, that I'm taking my gray and going right over the edges of the brown and I'm blending it in, right? And then I'm going to come through here same thing. And I am not grinding my pencil into the paper at all. Zoom out. Zoom out. So what do you think? Everything is coming into beautiful sharp focus now as I'm getting my other colors done. Now, hang with me for a few more minutes here. I'm going to go ahead now and color up my brown over here. So Sandy says, I was hesitant on buying the Life Escapes books due to how involved they were, but after I did the Jack and Jill pick, I like the challenge now. See? There you go. It's not hard. All right, so hang with me here while I do this. Because once I do this other side, it's really going to come into focus. Zoom in. So now I'm going ahead with my gray. I'm sorry. My blue, excuse me. And I want you to see too how this carpet is really carpet is really going to develop now in front of your eyes because I'm doing the table area. And again, this is where it's important here that you want to get in between your fringes. You really don't want to lose that aspect of your coloring, and it's nothing to do. Okay, just stay with me on this because you're going to really now see the difference. And yes, I'm coloring right over that brown. That's fine. So is anybody that's watching this falling more in love with grayscale? Okay. Oh man, is this popping out now? So now I'm going through with my gray. It's going to tone down the blue, which is exactly what I wanted. And it's blending everything. And I'm taking the time to pop in that gray, in that blue area, in between the little fringes. Because guys, the fringes make this picture. I mean, it really does. So if you end up doing this picture, please, 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 please detail your fringe. Oh, pretty. Zoom out. Zoom out. Look at that. And now I'm going to take my Faber-Castell 103. And get a really nice look on this. Oh yeah, Wanda, answer that question. Do you only color grayscale? Oh man. Zoom out. There you go. So let me show you the side by side again. So this is my interpretation. This is the original picture. Like I said, your choice as to how closely you want to follow this. Now, I will remind you that this is a photograph and it's very sharp, right? So you're not going to get the exact same look on this. You're coloring with colored pencil. So don't set yourself up for disappointment. Let me turn my light so you can actually see this thing. There you go. I'm sorry. Now that's better. So don't set yourself up for disappointment when you say, oh my gosh, my picture doesn't look as sharp or, you know, bright or whatever as the original. No, it's not going to. Okay? Wanda, I hope I did your picture justice. I love that little carpet on there. I think that looks so cool. All right, anybody have any questions or comments? Thank you, Sandy. It says looks good. Okay, guys, I'm going to call it an evening. I hope you learned something, as I always say. Well, Wanda, I hope you don't mind that I went off script with it. I'm so glad you guys could attend. And yes, get Wanda's book. She hopefully will have it up on Amazon very soon. And congratulations again to Wanda Fontenot. No T. I had a lot of fun doing this. Okay, guys, love you. Joyous, joyous coloring, guys. I hope you had as much fun as I did doing this. Fontenot. I'll get there. I didn't put the T on the end. And JoJo says, congratulations in big red letters. All right, guys, love on each other, help each other, contact each other if they need it. Love you guys. Joyous, joyous coloring. This is ILene Vick for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. And I will see you tomorrow night. Same time, same place. Whee! Take care, guys. And share this broadcast. Please, please share. All right, I'm out of here. Bye.